Good morning, everybody. My name is Brian Van Hook, and I'm Regional Director of the Florida Small Business Development Center at FIU. Thank you for joining us on this webinar from idea to concept. We're going to give it a minute or two and for everybody to load in, but we just want to thank you guys for signing up and for getting up this morning and getting on the webinar. And I promise you, you're going to get really, really good information. We have a really great presenter, and then we have a lot of other good information to give you too. So we'll just give it another minute or two. So get your coffee, your bagel, whatever you got, just kind of get settled. We'll start in about 1 or 2 minutes. And I was also going to mention, we do have a couple of polls that are coming up. I know sometimes you're kind of like, this is annoying. It's in the middle of my screen. I can't see the slides. But if you could take a minute and fill out the poll, because this actually helps inform our presenter in terms of who's on the webinar so that she can kind of gear the information towards you. So it actually kind of helps you in terms of the content. So just take a minute. I'll be quiet, I promise. And then you guys can fill out the poll. And there might be a couple other polls that pop up during it. So just take a quick minute and fill it out, and then it'll go away after you do it. So just thanks. And for some of the folks that just signed on, we're just going to give it another minute or two, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks for joining us. Okay, I think Jesus, we can get started if you want to go.
Perfect. Good morning. My name is Jesus Padilla from the Florida Small Business Development Center at FIU. The SBDC assists businesses located in Miami-Dade, Monroe County at no-cost assistance business consulting to assist you, the entrepreneurs, to grow and succeed. Some of our services that we include is access to capital, government contracting, business planning, marketing, and much more. In addition, we want to thank our sponsors, the Miami Foundation and JP Morgan Chase, of Building Prosperity Initiative. The purpose of this initiative is to provide this program to assist the small business ecosystems located in Miami-Dade County with different organizations, as such, the Florida SBDC at FIU and Prospera, to assist the community with business consulting and trainings to entrepreneurs. In addition, I would like to introduce Prospera Representative Soledad Jacobson, as it has been a pleasure collaborating during this initiative.
Thank you so much, Jesus. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ryan, for having me, Adriana as well. As Jesus just mentioned, this is a great collaboration that we were able to strengthen with the SBDC at FIU. Thank you, the Miami Foundation, and also JP Morgan Chase. At Prospera, we are a nonprofit organization that we are also part of the ecosystem that supports business owners and entrepreneurs here in Miami. So if you're looking for business guidance, assistance, access to capital, you can also call us to join us, and we work together with the SBDC. We're very, very happy to collaborate with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
and
you,
enjoy
Soledad.
the webinar.
Thank you, Soledad. In addition, with the SBDC, we also work with the Pinot Global Entrepreneurship Center. And it's exciting as we have officially called out the Miami Herald Startup Pitch Competition. So definitely assist you for today's participants to put that idea into paper and also participate in this exciting competition. It will be able to assist you in getting exposure with potential financing, partnerships, know more about the startup ecosystem, but at the same time, get professional experience feedback from your pitch deck so you could elevate your business to the next level. It has been official call for entries was yesterday, so it's underway. And the deadline to submit the pitch decks is on March 2nd, as the winners will be announced in May. In addition, it has been collaborated into 3 different tracks, which is the FIU track, the community track, and the high school track. For the FIU track, it's open for any current FIU students, alumni, faculty, and staff. It must be a for-profit business idea, and or the business could be established in operation for less than 3 years. So anything after January 1st, 2018. For the community track, it is the same format, but in addition, the pitch deck will be containing 12 to 20 slides. And for more information about the community track, it'll be visiting the website of miamiherald.com/challenge. Now, if you have any high school students that are entrepreneur mindset, by all means, it is open for the Palm Beach, Broward County, Miami-Dade, and Monroe County. Strongly encourage for your school age high school student participate the mindset. Go ahead and visit them at the network for entrepreneurship, teaching entrepreneurship for their respective schools. In addition, more information will be at the miamiherald.com challenge website. Some of the key takeaways: January 25th has been the official call for entries. March 2nd is the deadline for the submissions. And for more information, visit the miamiherald.com website. And also for more information that the FIU has to offer, by all means, visit business.fiu.edu/startup pitch.
And I was going to mention, Jesus, we do have a website on the Pino Center that has all the information on the FIU track. We also will be having some info sessions coming up that are specifically to the FIU track, but also on some of the other tracks as well. And we also will be having additional webinars similar to this one from Adriana that's going to help you in terms of doing your pitch, in terms of basically starting up your business, a lot of other ones along those lines. So I would encourage you guys, follow up with Jesus or follow up with Brianna, and they can get you more information on those, because we'll be having a lot of upcoming webinars through February ahead of the deadline.
Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Adriana Madina, which is our business consultant here at the Florida SBDC at FIU, delivering today's presentation. So Adriana, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to have you all. Let me share the presentation. I want to thank the sponsors and in addition, Prospera. Really, we are working many clients together with Prospera and it's been an amazing opportunity. So today we're going to talk from idea to company. So how to move your idea and turn it into a company. This topic is very close to my heart. And it's funny, I don't share this picture much. This was in a conference that they asked us to put what was our dream. And I put actions for joy, make my soul sing. And it was because at that time I wanted to create a small business to support women building a strategy to achieve their dreams. So that's why that line of business is called Action for Joy. And then I also have a business, and I'm an entrepreneur that is called Concepta Strategies. Today, FIU hires my company to do consulting. So that's part of my dream. But even though it seems so nice and beautiful and a beautiful story, I work hard to get there. I came to this country when I was 27 years old. I came to study. Then life happens. I got a job here. I worked for 10 years in an advertising agency, in and out, because when I had my kids, I stopped. Then I came back. And then one day when I was driving, I remember it was a Thursday, I count the hours I had been in the car, and they had been 15 hours to go to work. And I realized that they were my kids that were paying off. So I decided to jump and definitely open my strategic business, both for companies and women. And yes, I jumped into the unknown. And I wish I had what I'm going to present to you. That is not only a lot of information on how to do it, but also what I think could really work for all of you. It was hard. I had good moments and tough moments. I even remember my first webinar that I only had one participant. So yes, I feel the story, but I want to encourage you that working hard, you can get there. I think the best thing that I had at that time was a friend that used to say to me, if you want to build a business, you need to be very focused. and you will see it will blossom, but it will take some time, but just be focused. So what I'm going to give you today are the steps that you should follow. You need to build the right foundation so you are really on track and you're really focused on where to go. Because if you don't have that, it's very easy to derail. So that's my story. So let's start now with the presentation. So the idea today is to help you how to move from the idea to company and how to get there. So everything starts with the idea. So we all have ideas, but let's see if all those ideas are worth becoming a business. So there are some sources where you can get ideas. Maybe you are really good at a specific hobby and it's worth taking advantage of that. Maybe, like in my case, you work in a specific area and you develop certain skills that you could offer as a service. Or maybe you have a very good eye and you can identify solutions to needs that people have that nobody has found a similar solution. So maybe you have a different way to do it and a different idea that could be an amazing business. But so let's see when really use our hobby skills or when we have identified a need as a source of idea for a business. So if it's a hobby, the first question you need to ask is, are you willing to be immersed in your hobby 24/7? And I tell you this also because, believe it or not, the first thing that I studied was industrial design. And I thought I was going to be that's any design that you can produce in the industry, from an airplane to a nail, everything. And I thought I was going to be so happy when I studied that. I thought, oh my God, I will be so happy working on this all my life. And then when I was studying, I realized that I had lost my hobby, and probably I didn't want, that I wanted to have a different, I didn't want it together. I want to have a hobby and I want to have a work. So you really have to question if you want to be immersed in your hobby 24/7. Do you enjoy teaching others? Because if you're going to help others about your hobby, you need to like teaching. Do you like all about the hobby, even the admin work? Because when you start a business, it's not about your hobby, but it's also all your admin work. Have people asked for your help? If you have a hobby and a lot of people ask for it, maybe that's a good sign. Are they willing to pay? Have they asked you, listen, could you teach me, and how can I pay you for that? And are there other successful businesses related in that hobby? And this last question is related because when you start something that is too new, it's very difficult to launch. Being the first one, you have to invest a lot to make it happen. But when there is an idea that already people understand and there are so other business, then you have an opportunity. I always give this example because people sometimes think, oh, my business is the best, I have no competition. Having no competition at all is not a good business. And I'll explain to you why. If you want to buy a pair of shoes.
Oh, I had a question. You can go
yes.
Make your good example.
If you want to buy a pair of shoes, where will you go? To the only place that you can buy, let's say to a shopping mall that there are no other stores, only that pair of shoes? Maybe that's not that often. Probably we prefer to go to a store when there are other shoes. Even there are different styles, but then you have more options. So people will relate to your hobby and your business if it's really something that already people want to have, they recognize it, and there are other related interest in that hobby. Yes, Brian.
I was gonna say, definitely during COVID, everybody has like a side hustle or a hobby that they're working on. And I think that's an important point that you had about, are you willing to do it 24/7? Are you passionate about it? Because a lot of the marketing and advertising now too, it's on social media, it's on YouTube, it's how-to videos, it's you talking about the business. And that really translates when you're doing those type of videos. Like everybody can tell just from the first 2 minutes that you're passionate about your business and you're passionate about the topic. So that comes across. And then the other thing was the point you're making about kind of like the cluster is also that helps you in terms of marketing, advertising, things like that. Sometimes it's not a bad thing if there's two hot dog shops near each other, depending on what type of services they have and things like that, because it might be where people kind of associate that part of the town, or that type of thing. It might actually help you. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I would say we always do have clients that come in, this is the only business ever, this is the best one. And then we do 2 minutes of research and we find out there's 15 other businesses that do the same exact thing, same exact concept. So I think a little bit of internet research as you're kind of building it out would help you to kind of refine your business concept. So I'll be quiet. Thanks.
That's a good point. In fact, being unique on the way you offer the service is good. You need to make sure is that concept is already in the market. When it's very unique, maybe, and I'll explain in a minute, extremely unique, then that means that you probably don't have a big market already to offer it. So that's for if you want a hobby. If you have a skill, let's say, and I'm noticing lately with COVID, I'm receiving a lot of clients at the SBDC that had a job for many years, were with a company for a long time, and now, for different reasons, they want to open their own business. So you don't have to do exactly what you did at that time. Maybe you acquire a skill. So for instance, maybe you became very, very organized and you learn how to organize other people, or you learn how to organize a home, or you learn how to have bookkeeping very thorough. So there are many skills that maybe are not exactly what you did, but are connected with what you did that you can take advantage of. So the same questions goes like, what are the skills that you acquire? Are you willing to be immersed in that skill, again, 24/7? Do you enjoy helping others? Have people ask for help on that specific skills? And are they willing to pay? And again, is there like other business related, a successful business related to that skill? Or maybe you have identified this need that, sometimes we say, oh my God, this should be in this way, or there should be a product like this. So when you have identified a solution, we need to see if it has value for others. Again, if you're willing to work in that solution 24/7, if other people have the same issue, and if they're willing to pay for that solution that you have in mind. So for all of you that are at the stage that are really starting with an idea, think if you have a skill you can use, or a hobby, or maybe you have found a solution. Okay, but not all ideas are worth building into a business. So let's see which ones we should keep and which ones were a nice idea, but maybe they're not a business yet. And I have this story also. I remember very recently when I got married, my husband wanted to get, but that was like 15 years ago, really to go deep into cybersecurity. And at that time, it wasn't that recognized. It was difficult for him to start his business at that time. Nowadays, cybersecurity is really needed, but you really need to know. Sometimes the market is not ready for your idea, or the idea is not the right one solution, or maybe it's already a dated idea. So let's look more into that. So an idea is not enough. It needs to add value. So let's look so we need an idea plus value is when you have a really good opportunity. So what is the value of an idea is something that is desirable and of worth, and is created to exchange or effort. So exchange will be, for instance, when you act like a broker, you buy something here and you sell it somewhere else, or maybe you offer a service where you have to put an effort or a product. So I really like this graph because, as I said, the idea has to be unique, and the value you need to solve a problem and bring a benefit for a segment of clients, I mean to a market. What happens with most products and services, they're not very unique and they don't offer a lot of value. If you have an idea that has is very unique, but doesn't offer value, maybe you don't really have opportunity to offer it. You don't have the market to put it out there and it's not attractive. If you have an idea that everybody wants, if you have something that everybody wants in the market, but it's not very unique, you are competing with everybody. So we need to find ideas that are really solving a problem, like ideas that are unique, solving a problem, and definitely have a good market. So that's this great value area is where we want to be. So I'm going to give you examples. And believe it or not, these are not the real name, but these are real cases. So I have Ana, Jose, and Laura. Ana was passionate about ceramics. And the reason, so her skill was the ceramics. The problem that she found is that it's difficult to find unique gifts. The opportunity is that by offering online her ceramics, they may be a little bit expensive because it's a lot of manual work. So they're a little bit expensive in the East Coast, but they're an amazing price in the, sorry, I put East Coast, but she's based on the East Coast, but she sells them, most of her buyers are on the West Coast. So that's the opportunity she found. Jose worked many years to develop amazing cabinetry for high-end houses. He decided to go independent. So the skill, he has a skill. He learned how to make cabinetry. The problem that he found is that there are not really good customized solutions. And the opportunity that he found was that maybe public universities could need customized furniture. So he offers his services to universities like FIU. Laura was definitely passionate. Her skill was yoga. She wanted to, the problem that she found is that some businesses were very stressed. So she wanted to bring positive business environment, and she found that opportunity offering to private companies that want to buy it. You know, the service, you can go and train the teams. Okay, so right here you see that they have a passion, they have or a skill, a hobby, and then a problem that they identified, and then the opportunity. So that's what we want to work. And all of you will receive these slides, so you can use them as a guide, and they're both in English and in Spanish. So if you only speak Spanish, look for the handout that is in Spanish, and you will find exactly the same content. So we already said the idea should come from a hobby, a skill, or an identified need. And then we need to work on a problem, or you may need to make sure you have a problem, or not or, and, sorry, you solve a problem and you have a good market to offer it. And then that's the opportunity. I'm going to make a parenthesis here. I know some of you are writing questions because this topic is a little bit long. I'm going to continue, but I promise I'll answer all the questions at the end. I just want to make sure we go through the whole methodology because you may find answers in the process. So we say, okay, we need an idea, the value, that is to have a problem, a clear market, to find a good opportunity. To add value, you need to know your client. This is what I correct most of the time for most of the business that come to us. Because you have a good idea, you think you're adding value, but when I check, there's very little knowledge about the client. You really need to know your client. So the client, let's talk about the client. So the ideal client is when you find a good niche, and I'll explain why in a minute, and who's your client. It's very different to sell to people, to businesses, or to government. So what we want is to do a segmentation of our clients. We need to focus in the needs, not in the wants. The needs are really rooted for, really are the core, the essence. The wants are temporary, and maybe the market is very volatile. unless you are really into the hip things. I know some people really import things that are in fashion. I remember like the fidget spinners, I think that was the name. I knew someone that will bring that and resell it here. But that's not an easy market, and that requires a lot of investment in marketing. So the idea is to find a need, something that you can definitely solve that pain and generate a value added, a benefit. So many of the people think when we ask, who's your client? Everybody. If your client is everybody, then you are competing with 66% of companies and people. So you really want to find a very niche, a more specific niche. Not too small, but big enough that it's a good business. And we are looking for things that are essential, not, as I say, not nice to have, not the ones, really deeper needs. So, for instance, for our cases, Ana is selling to consumers. Jose is selling to government because FIU is a government university, and Laura is selling to businesses. So let's talk one by one. So we are saying that it's very important that you have an idea, you find what is the value of that idea, and you identify your client. So your client, if it's a person, it's a consumer, you need to know very well where they live, the geographic part, the country, the city, the neighborhood area, the infrastructure. You need to know the demographic. Demographics goes beyond location. So it's the age, the gender, the education, the income, family lifestyle. Maybe you are only selling product for moms with babies. That's a lifestyle. Or maybe you are selling a product to couples recently married. So you need to know that. Psychographic is how people think. So what is the lifestyle? What are the activities, the interests, the beliefs, etc. And then the behaviors. How do they behave? And I really encourage you to try to see what is a typical day of your client. When they wake up, what do they do? How do they think? What are they listening to? All of that. It will give you then an idea how to connect with that client. What are their hopes, their dreams, their risk level? Are risk takers or are they risk takers or risk averse? The frequency of use, because of course, if you have a product that they will continue buying, let's say I start selling coffee, people that like coffee will buy it every month. It's very different. This morning, for instance, I was looking at some news, I was looking at the news, there came an advertising that say that this a solar light that is, you buy it, and if it gets damaged, it will replace it anytime it gets damaged. And I was like, okay, that means that they're expecting to sell so many, and because if they can always replace it, is I guess they expect that everybody's gonna buy from them. When you sell to business to government, which in many cases, sometimes we see clients, for instance, in construction or other areas, food, there are many opportunities with government. That's an area that you need really to get prepared, but it's not that you cannot do it. For instance, right now I have a client that is a veteran, and he can offer, he got all the certifications to offer products to government. However, he needs to go small because he doesn't have enough budget yet to sell to government. So he's right now selling to private industry. So, or to private person, to people directly. Like if I get discharged and I need oxygen, he can provide it to me, but he's making some savings so he can go to government. But is an idea he has in mind, okay? So when you're planning in the future to go move your business to government, you need to know which agency and institution you want to approach. Is it a university? Is it a hospital? Is the schools? What is their annual budgets? How much are they spending? The vendor awards programs. Many of the government institutions have a special programs, sometimes for a small business yeah, basically small business or disadvantaged business. Connections, so do you have, what are the contacts, the profile of the people working government, the preferences and biases, who makes the decisions, the decision makers. So do they purchase in specific seasons? So you need really to understand what is their fiscal calendar. So when the budgets are open, when the budgets close, what certifications do you need? Do you need to be a women-owned business? Do you need to have a disadvantaged certification business, and what is the process? Finally, when you work to go when you are trying to sell to government, it's really good to check your competitors. The competitors' history will tell you what those agencies are looking for. So a good way to learn how to bid with government is to look at competitors. The third area that we mentioned, that was Laura, is when you want to sell to business. The industry dynamics, so you need to understand that industry dynamics of those specific business, the trends, if they are growing. That's very important. Look for industries that are growing. For instance, if you are working if you are planning to work in a print company, you need to understand that every day people are printing less and less. Everything is more digital. So you need to know if that's a business that is growing or not. Try to choose a business that is growing. Check what type of companies you want to offer your business, the size, the number of employees, the annual sales, where are they located, what service of product or products do they offer. The connections, do you know anybody in those businesses? What are the attitudes, preference, and biases? Then the purchasing centers. Be aware that many companies are buying different ways, and some just online. So understand the purchase seasonality, the location, the volume, and who are the decision makers. Finally, and very important, after you have analyzed which type of client you have, what is the niche, and all those questions that I just put, really go deeper in what are the pains of those clients and the desires they have. If you look for people that are people that are serial startup creators, they tend to look for big pains and business that are solving those pains. So usually what moves us is the pain, not only of people, but companies and even government, when we have an issue and we want to solve it. So go deeper and identify the pains and the desires of your clients, the groups you have selected. So if we go to our examples, Anna, Jose, and Laura, Anna, she realized that those unique gifts are not that easy to find. So if you could advertise them, and maybe through Etsy that has more opportunity to find unique things, she has a really good niche. She's solving that pain. Jose realized quickly that in government is not only about knowing your skill, but having good, really admin management, really good management. With government, you need to bid properly, have the right invoice at the right time, everything. So he found that that's a big pain. There are a lot of people that can do what he does, but not everybody has good management skills. Then Laura, she knows that definitely the pain of those, the business that are looking for her services in yoga are because they are looking for less stress. The team is very stressed and they need an outlet to really feel engaged. Maybe don't leave that company and connected, that they feel that employees feel they are giving them something, and especially, let's say, in the advertising world that is very stressful, or maybe in the investment world. And so that's her niche and the problems she's solving. So once we go, the idea, the value, your client, then the next question, is this a good opportunity for me? Because sometimes ideas look beautiful, but is it for you? So let's look at the opportunity. Let's measure the opportunity. We want to measure 4 areas. First of all, the impact. How much of an impact your business idea could have on your customers. So compared to other products or services in the market, how much of an impact, how good, how attractive is for your client. Then the effort. How much time and work will require your business idea? Because sometimes if you need to think, maybe it's a beautiful idea, but it requires too much time and too much effort, maybe it's not profitable. Then also about the effort, and if you're willing to put that effort. I think we saw that at the beginning. Are you willing to invest 24/7 on this? Or is an effort that you're really willing to put on your business? Then profitability. So because we are comparing different ideas, is that idea relative to other ideas, how much money will that project bring? So when you have a list of ideas, see which one can bring more profit to your business. Finally, the vision. How close is a fit this business idea with your overall vision and purpose? This last one is very important because like when you're having a baby and everybody wants to give you the name, what will be the perfect name, how to do it, how to take care. Okay, when you decide you want to have a business, kind of similar thing will happen. You will tell the idea and everybody will bring you other ideas. Sometimes the ideas are good, but sometimes those ideas are not really aligned to what is your vision and purpose. So make sure when you evaluate all the ideas, you choose ideas in that section that are really close to your heart, that they really resonate with you. Because when you work in something that you're passionate, it will never feel like work. So you need to make sure it is aligned. So this is a chart on how to do that matrix of opportunities. So list all your ideas, idea 1, idea 2, idea 3. What is the impact? So how much impact will have in your client? The effort, I have put a star here because even though the score is from 1 to 5, when you rank the effort, if it's more effort, it's 1. That means that if it's a lot of effort, it's not the best idea, like idea 3. But if it's little effort to achieve that idea, like idea 1, it was a higher number, okay? So in this one is the opposite, okay? The scale, it will be 1 to 5. Profit, we say profitability, which one is more profitable? In this case is idea 3. And how aligned is it with your vision? And we find that the idea that is most aligned is idea 2. So then you will add up all these numbers, and the idea that has the highest score is the idea that has more opportunity. So how big is this business idea? So we already know the idea that brings value, we know our clients, and we know it's a good opportunity. But how big is this idea? So then we really need to go into the market and really explore the market. How big is it? Remember that we say we're going to solve a problem, but we need to have a market to sell our product. This is also an area that I usually have to ask clients to go back. You really need to understand the market, the opportunities and the threats. You really need to understand how is the economy, the industry that you're getting in, the market and the trends. And I know this sounds complex, but when I show you the questions that you need to ask yourself, you will see that it's not that complex. And this presentation has been done with all the information, so you can even do it on your own. At least start the first draft of following through all these steps. In the economy, you want to check that, as I said before, that is a market that is growing. So you have to check, is it growing or in the decline phase? There are many industries that are disappearing, especially now, not only because of COVID, but we are in something called the fourth industrial revolution, with like any industrial revolution. When the light came in the second industrial revolution, we stopped using gas to get light in our homes, power in our homes. So definitely when the power came in, then it changed everything. When gas came in, then we use cars different. But now if we have electric cars, if we have other systems, then it would change again. So you really need to be careful. Is it an industry that you are in a market that, and this is specifically, or is your market growing? Is the US growing? Is in, so let's say you want to invest in exporting to Peru. You need to check, is Peru growing? Is this type of industry in Peru growing? Okay. Products and resources, you need to know how expensive are those resources and if you can get funds to support your business. Because sometimes when we are with, this is an industry that is in high demand in the economy, you may get people interested on funding your project. Then the infrastructure, do you have a good infrastructure? Because if, let's say you want to bring, I don't know, computers to a very complex area, can you do it? Because that will be your highest cost in that case. Can you have the infrastructure? So you have, if you want to work with a remote area, or if you want to produce, can you offer that in your home, for instance? So the infrastructure that you have, okay? Then the industry. So you really need to go deeper. As Brian said at the beginning, who are your competitors? What are their competitive advantages and disadvantages? And competitors may not do exactly what you do, but they solve the same need that you have, that you are solving. So go and really go a deep analysis. Just Google your problem and you will find how many offers there are there. Substitute products and services. Sometimes the solutions are not exactly the same. It's not, but there's substitute products. So a substitute product of printing that I was talking before will be online printouts, digital printouts. So definitely you need to find who are all those substitute products. And again, the advantages and disadvantages. The market. So what is the market? Is your all these your customers. So what are the crucial issues that are affecting your customers? Where is the highest growth potential? So where is the clients are looking the most to solve that issue or that pain? What are the needs and demands? So, and this is a skill that as an entrepreneur, I will recommend you develop. You definitely need to develop the listening skill. Sometimes when we have an idea, we talk a lot about our idea or business and we forget to listen. You need to listen to your clients. When you listen very careful, you will identify really deep needs that maybe they don't express exactly, but you can really put the dots together and find very interesting solutions and options. The cost of change. What will unite your business with your customer? And is it easy for your customers to find or switch to similar offers? And how much are they willing to pay? So you really need to understand, okay, this is my client, this is how big is my market, what are the really needs that they have, what is the cost, what will unite my business with these clients? Can they switch easily? And if they're, how much can they pay for it? And don't forget the trends, especially with COVID, trends accelerated more than ever. So what are the technological trends that you can use those trends to even improve your idea, or that could affect your idea too? The regulatory, don't forget. What are the regulatory trends that could influence your market? What regulations can affect your business? And this one, I'm going to talk very detail about something. Many businesses that come to us about food. In Florida, we have something called the cottage food law. So that means that you can only sell certain type of products that you produce at home, only certain ingredients, and only in a certain way. So you have to do, for instance, your own delivery. So be very careful on the regulations for what you want to do. Many small business require to be certified. So make sure you have the right certifications and you are following the law. Also, what regulations and taxes can affect the consumer demand. So because maybe you have some idea, but then that idea has taxes, you need to charge certain taxes. Then the social and cultural changes. How is that affecting the values? How is the group changing? The demographics, are people getting older? What are the younger generations doing? And how these trends could affect your business. So really, really know your market in all the areas, the economy, the industry, the market, and the trends. Once you have that very clear, focus on doing a simple market test. So remember, we want an idea that brings value. So we need to know that your market is big enough. You want to focus on the obvious pain and gain or benefit or desire. Remember, we are solving either a pain they have or we are bringing a benefit to a desire they have. For instance, when we look for luxury brands, what they do is that they work on the desire of people. We need to have a clear solution to the problem or the desire. Make sure your solution is different and better than your competitors. Describe the profile of the persona or your client. And then create an outline, like a pitch. We will see it in a minute how to do it. An outline on how you want your pitch. And then test the idea with your market. Okay? So yes, okay, by now we know we have an idea. You have explored the value of your idea. You know your client. You understand the opportunity that you have checked the market. But how do I charge for it? So how much can I charge for my product and service? The price. And here the product or service, remember, we are solving a pain or satisfying a desire. And I know this graph looks complex, but it's very simple. If you see the point of in the middle, is the point of reference. If I go right now and I buy a bottle of water, and I go, let's say, to Walgreens, they will say, yes, the bottle of water is $1.50. Okay, I'll say it's okay, it's within the range of water, of what I pay for a bottle of water. But if I go tomorrow, I need to fly and I go to the airport and I ask for a bottle of water and they say $4 a bottle of water. It goes out of my point of reference. So every product or service you offer, you need to make sure is within that point of reference. So how do you know it's the right point of reference? If you see the curve of gain, do you see that the bottom, the outcome, is wider than the value? That means that if I offer you, let's say, a new handbag, and I tell you, you know, the handbag is in leather, it has interchangeable straps, you can fold there and change its color. Maybe I offer you a lot of things, but it doesn't matter if I offer you, even if I offer more and more things, it doesn't mean people are going to pay more and more and more. There is a point where people are not willing to pay more for all these benefits. So you really need to make sure what are the real benefits you're offering and within what range you are with those benefits. So that's the game. So be very careful how much you offer versus the range of how much you can pay. Don't charge too little because then people won't believe on your product and your service. Don't charge too much unless you can really deliver everything that you can offer. Then the pains. It says that the pains loom longer and deeper than the gains. If you go to a restaurant and you get sick, not only you will never come back, but you will tell everybody. So you have to be very careful. But because this is so deep, when someone has a pain and you solve that pain, they will be grateful forever. So be careful. Be careful how you price and be careful what you solve. What are the benefits that you are adding? Okay? If you have more questions about point of reference, we can look at it later. Once you know your idea, your value, your clients, your opportunity, your market, the price, then how can you craft the right offer? And that is called the value proposition. So what is the proposition that you bring with value? So value proposition, the definition is why people or business buy your products and services. And you need to make sure you have 4 elements. You need to have a pain you're solving, or maybe a desire you are bringing a benefit. If you can solve both, even better. You need to have a product or a service, and you have a client that has a need. So he has a need, maybe it's a pain that you want to solve with your product or service. He has a need, he has a desire, and you can generate that gain with the product or a service. I have put this chart to help you. Because if you really put your customer, the definition of your customer, if you take the time to define the need, the pain, the desire of the gain, your product and service, and this is the formula that the value proposition design book recommends. That is, our product or service helps ex-customer segment who want to solve a specific need by reducing, avoiding, etc., a pain, and then increasing, enabling, etc., a desire. When you manage to write this value proposition, you will see how clear it becomes your concept, and that will be the future base for your website, for your communication, even to talk very easily to your clients. So that's why I have put that formula here, so you can really craft your concept after you have done all your analysis. So how the business will make money? Because we already know the idea, the value, the client is a good opportunity. We have a good market. We know how much we're going to charge, and we know what is our offer, but how the business will make money. And that's when you look at the business model. And even though this is a more complex tool, there are many videos online, or you can always reach to us. Remember, Prospera and ourselves, we can always help you at the SBTC at FIU to go to these tools. So this is the business model canvas. And what it says is that all the elements that you can do to make sure you are making money. So we have worked, believe it or not, already in a lot of concepts. We know our clients, we know our value proposition, why people buy our products and services. What is the type of relationship I want to have this client with us? What channels I'm going to use to communicate with them? And all that will generate my revenue stream, how money comes to my business. That is the value side. So that's how I bring value to my business. The money comes in this way. The money comes in when I sell a product or service to a client that has a good relationship with me and has connected through different channels. So they pay for my product or service. But on the other hand, all this money that comes in, there's some money that you are going to spend. So what are the key activities you have to do? What are the key resources you need? Do you have key partners that are not only the partners, but the suppliers? And all of this has a cost. Some activities that you have to do have a cost. The resources have a cost. And if you use your supplies or sources, you have a cost. So the difference between the money you make and what you use to make your business work, that will be your revenue. So by using all these blocks, you will have a better idea. Depending what has been your experience, for all the people that have worked more in marketing, this value side is easier. For maybe people that have had technical works or maybe back-end jobs that are really good at managing money, but you need to have both sides. Even if you have, maybe you have an amazing idea on how to manage all the money, you need to make sure you have a good way to bring the sales. You may You may be really good at bringing sales, but be very careful on how you manage your finances and your processes. Okay, so you need to have both sides. I have put the list here, and I'm gonna just go very fast on how to answer those blogs. And you should do it in the order I have put them here. So for customer segments, who will buy your products or services? For whom are you creating value? Who are your most important clients? The value proposition, what will you sell? What value do you deliver to your customers? Which one of your customers' problems are you helping to solve? In customer relationship, what type of relationship does each of your customers want to have? For channels, how will your customers learn about your business? Through which channels do your customer segments want to be reached? How can you encourage referrals? For revenue streams, for what value are your customers really willing to pay? What will you charge? How will you get paid? How else can you make money from this business idea? Then in the logic side, remember the cost side or the efficiency side, key resources. What are the key resources your value proposition require, your business idea? Key activities. What are the activities your business idea requires? Key partners. And this is something I'm seeing a lot in a small business, that they're partnering with other people to make their business even more successful. Who are your key partners? Who are your key suppliers? Which key resources are we acquiring from partners? Key activities. What key activities do partners perform? For costs, what are the most important costs inherent to your business model? Which key resources are more expensive? And which key activities are most expensive? And I have added this little box here, even though this is not from the business model canvas, but it's good that you write what means success for you in your business. So the project or the business idea will be successful when I achieve these metrics: number of customers, annual net income, and other. Okay, so you set up how you want to be successful. So yes, by now we already know all our model, about the client, the value we're bringing, the market. But what about the right communication? And remember that I said that for the test market, we need to prepare a good pitch. A good pitch is the presentation you're going to make. What is the short and sweet presentation you're going to make? So a right presentation is when you know you have the right audience, you are talking about the right promise. That means how you're going to solve that problem at the right time. That is an offer you can refuse. So think how many times you get a phone call and you are busy offering something, maybe something that you want, but it's not the right time. Sometimes you have a problem, but when they start talking, it's not the right solution for what you need. Or maybe you start talking to the wrong people about an amazing idea, but they're not interested. So make sure you combine the three to have really an offer you can refuse. You can't refuse. Okay, so here is some points that will help you write that pitch, that presentation, very short and to the point. What are you selling? How much does it cost? What is the problem you're solving? Who will take immediate action in this offer? The benefits, remember, do you remember the graph of price that I say is not how many benefits you bring? Maybe think about the first two and make it very strong. What is the primary benefit and the most important secondary benefit? Then think about the objections. This will save you a lot of time. What are the main objections of the offer? List maybe 3. And how will you counter these objections? 1, 2, 3. And then what is the right time? Why should someone buy this now? Why can I add to make this offer even compelling? So remember, when is the right time? And when we talk about the client, I say, try to make a day on a life of your client to identify, even if it's a business. Remember that even if we sell to business or government, if you're talking to people at the end of the day and they have a day, do they answer emails when they arrive and they don't want to take calls? At what time do they read emails, or how do they read emails? So even if it's a business, remember to focus also about the time. Once you have that presentation, I also, even though this presentation is not about marketing, because marketing will be a completely new other section of presentation, a huge, and maybe another hour at least, if not more. I wanted to highlight the contact points that you have to make sure you are always communicating that right pitch, the right audience, the right concept, and the right idea. So there are 5 buckets when you are communicating with your clients. The first one is the awareness. How do they recognize your business? And you want to increase it. And I think that's something that really social media and all the technology has changed amazingly. Remember before we had to put a sign, maybe an ad in the newspaper, or maybe use the radio, which was, all of them were pretty expensive. And it would take time to build that audience. Now you can use a lot of digital tools to increase your awareness. Consideration is when people start thinking, being interested. So that means that they consider you. You need to make it available. If you're offering a service, maybe write good pieces about your service, write articles, explain why you are the best on that. Make sure that when people Google, they not only find maybe your business, but your name with good information. Google yourselves. Check what you're seeing. Maybe you Google yourself or you Google your business and you find things you don't like. So for people to consider you, they will look, they will Google you, and they will kind of say, okay, I like it. Or maybe I have listened a lot about this person and it's something I want to hear. Then you want to make sure you aid the purchase. How you make that purchase easy. Many times we are very locked in a specific thing. Maybe sometimes it's better to offer different options. You can buy 1 for this price, or you can buy 3 for this price. You can buy on a monthly basis, or you can buy it one time. So all these options. Delivery. I noticed that many companies forget this amazing point of contact. That is, when you deliver, that's the point that you need to really offer a thank you note or something to maintain that engagement. And then the post-sale. How do you assist during all the time to really gain loyalty across the time? So by now, this no longer is a dream. It's time to take action. You already know, you have really worked on the whole base on your business. So let's make an action plan. And an action plan, I recommend you take 3 months and you list the actions based on this presentation. What is the thing I need to make in month 1, action 2, and action 3? Maybe month 2 the same, and maybe month 3 the same. But make an action plan. Sometimes we plan a business, it takes years for a business to take up. Not because the business is not amazing, not because the idea is not good, but they're not, sometimes we fail on implementing. So make an action plan and check how you're doing versus every month. So these are the 10 steps you need to talk from idea to company. The idea, the value, the client, the opportunity, the market, the price, the value proposition, the business model, the pitch, and the action plan. And Seth Godin, one of the most remarkable marketers, and you can check it, he has amazing podcasts. He said there is no shortage of remarkable ideas. What's missing is the will to execute them. So I encourage all of you to work on your ideas and finish them. And we are here to help you. We receive new clients every day, and we have seen many ideas blossom and turn into amazing business. So now I'm open to questions. I don't know.
Okay. So let's see, I'll be your facilitator.
Thank you.
And I know they have like the little clap, but everybody kind of give Adriana a round of applause. You covered a lot of ground, and there was a lot of questions during it that Jesus and I were helping out. So I see Millicent has a question. Brianna, if you want to call on her, or Millicent, if you want to type in the chat. Type in the Q&A and we can answer your question.
Or if they want to open the mic, I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah. Brianna, you're the one that works on that, so I'll defer to you. And then Hey,
Yeah, Millicent. Yeah, what is your question? I think.
we did
Can you
have a
all-
question. Oh, go ahead, Millicent.
Oh, you can. Okay, great. The point of reference, I just need, if you don't mind, if you can unpack that a little bit further. I tend to digest information visually, but for whatever reason, that particular chart, I couldn't comprehend.
That's fine. So, okay, so doesn't matter what you buy. Remember how many things you have gone to the supermarket even, and you see the price and you say, wow, no, I'm not getting blueberries this time, okay? Because we always have a point of reference what things will cost. If you call someone to cut, maybe you need to fix your garden, and they make an offer, you already have in your head an idea of what is the range you want. If it doesn't happen, it's out of point of reference. That's why I use the example of the water. If I go for a bottle of water and it's within $1 to $2, it's okay. When they tell me 4 or 5, it's out of my point of reference. That means that when it goes out of that range, I will not buy it. So you need to know for your product and service, not only the benefits you're offering. So that's why I say you have to be very careful. If you offer 10 things, probably people will say, oh, I'm not gonna buy it. Not because it's not good, but because you mentioned so many things, I will feel afraid that you will charge too much. So focus on the 2 to 3 benefits. The pain is when it's very, if you offer something and you don't deliver, they will hate you forever. So remember that the pain goes really deep, so you have to be very careful. But that graph can be read also in another way, because the pain of people are so deep when you solve a pain. So maybe in the market, everybody does a really bad job about, let's go back to gardening. Whenever you find the one that is really good, then people will be very grateful and will help him or her even more, or he will have more business because it's really appreciated. That's what I'm trying to say. But what is your business? You know, or an idea that you have?
Yeah, I'm trying to start a small multimedia production company, and I'd like to focus on the corporate sector where we develop creative content that helps those organizations deal with issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So trying to basically do system change work using media as the platform within the corporate sector.
So then you have to check, once you know your clients very well, what type of offers are they getting? Within which range? How much are they willing to pay? And then also, what are the key benefits? If you offer everything, nobody will come to your business. The communication has to be very clear and very focused. Maybe then they ask for the additional service you can ask, but be very focused on the key services you can offer and be very clear on doing the right search on what is the range that you can charge for it. I noticed that many companies like yours are moving into like a package because they have to educate the client. So they say, okay, you can choose this package that includes A, B, and C, and that's how we can do it. Or you can go to the next level or the next level. And that's how they keep into their point of reference.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Millicent. And then I think we had up next, it was Ethne, and then Jaime, and then Alberto.
Hi,
Hi.
thank you so much for having me. Yes, what I wanted to ask, would there be another session where you have you register the business and you can register like for the FEIN and the different steps I understand the idea to company, but then from idea to registration and the different steps and criteria that we would need to meet in the state of Florida, so we be on the right side of the SBA and the tax and everything. Can you?
Yeah, I would say you're in luck because we, as part of the webinar series, we do have a webinar that focuses on some of those steps that you need to do. But I would also encourage you, you also have Prospera and SBDC that are on the webinar, and both of those organizations can assist you in a lot of those aspects as well. So don't be shy to reach out because we're here to help you out. We're here to help you out. And then because I did see that Alex had a question on that topic because he asked about FIU and what do we do to help? As Jesus mentioned, we have a center of business specialists such as Adriana that are focused on helping businesses. We focus on helping you start a business and grow your business. And our team is under the FIU College of Business. As Jesus mentioned, we also have our sister center, the Pino Center, that provides trainings, webinars, workshops such as this. And also they coordinate the FIU track for the Miami Herald Startup Pitch Competition. But we're here, and the best part is it's no cost to you. No cost to you in terms of helping out.
So could you also tell me where to go to get the notifications of these different courses that will be streamed?
You're connected with one of the most important people on our team, Brianna Williams. Brianna Williams is the one that does it. So you should have got a couple emails from her. If you want to email her on that, she can basically make sure that you're added to our list. So that
Thank you so much. I'm absolutely thrilled to be a part of this forum today. Thank you.
No, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. And then I think up next is Jaime. All right, you're up. We got some great questions, Jaime, so no pressure, no pressure.
Mike, Jaime, your mic is off.
Yeah, I think you're muted. If you want to unmute. Let's see. Yeah, Jaime, if you want to unmute. There you go. I saw it. Usually when you're muted and you're...
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello.
Okay,
I'm unmuted.
what's your question? We can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me lower my hand. That was earlier.
Oh, okay. Did we get to your question?
Yes, I was conversing with Angela earlier.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool. So anything else we can
Thank
ask since
you.
you have the mic? Are you good?
No, thank you. I think that's everything.
Okay. Was the webinar helpful? You got good information?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay.
If anything, I don't know. I guess it wasn't what I was expecting, but it was great. It was, it was. Oh, so I'm sorry. Now all of a sudden my phone is receiving message after message. I don't know if you can still hear me.
To Brianna, if there was something you wanted us to cover or something else we could cover, let us know because we want to make these webinars that we're covering the information that you want.
Well, I noticed that Angela was saying that she had a consulting license. So I was wondering, like things like that, like are there requirements to force, like I understand to go like to SunBiz and register, but is there like a license for consulting? Like which businesses require specific licensing and where would we go to get them? Like how do we know what the requirements are?
Well, Adriana, you're a consultant. Do you have like a consulting license or a consulting badge that you flash?
No, it depends what type of consulting you do. So for instance, if it's in technology, yes, you will require certain certifications. If it's in, I don't know, in a very specific topic, sometimes you require license. If it's business growth or marketing, you may not require license. But if you need more help, always feel free to register with us. As Brian said before, we do free consulting. You have, we give you 3 hours of consulting. So we can then go to specific cases like yours and we will be happy to help you.
And the good thing is we can tell you a lot of stuff that you need to do. We can also tell you a lot of stuff not to do. So that's always helpful to both sides of it. So, but just thanks for participating. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'll be emailing you all.
Thank you.
Definitely. Don't be shy.
Thank you.
And then I think Alberto's up next.
Yeah, Alberto, tell us.
You hear me? Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
Okay. I want to say, congratulations for your job. It's awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
My question is any way that I can recheck that information that you give it to us today? Is any way, please?
Yes, I don't know when the email will come out, probably today or early tomorrow. You will receive the same presentation both in English and in Spanish. So you can revisit all the topics. And then also again, if you then need personalized services, Prospera and the SBDC are here to help you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay. So who's up next? Let's see. Okay, Roberto. Thanks for joining us. Adriana, you're getting a lot of great questions. That means you're a good presenter.
Hello, Roberto. How are you?
Yes, hi. No, I don't think I raised my hand. I have no question. It was very nice and interesting. Thanks.
Okay, thank
I'm
you.
glad.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Give us
Thank
your
you.
feedback. Give us your feedback on the webinar. There's a poll.
Yes, I see it now.
Cool. And then I guess, Brianna, who was next? I was going to say, Brianna, can we get Alex? Because Alex had a lot of questions in the chat. So it might be better if we can just pull him up and ask his, answer his questions. Both Raul and Alex. I always like to keep you on your toes, Brianna. There's Raul.
Raul, yes?
Hey,
Hello.
Raul.
How are you?
Good.
Fine.
So we saw you had a couple questions. We figured we could just give you the microphone.
Oh, thank you. So I'm the vice president for a student organization, and we run similar to a nonprofit. So I know this is more of an advanced topic, but I wanted to ask if you guys have any advice for post-COVID, because we were during going virtual because of COVID. It actually gave us an advantage of being able to outreach to universities like UCF, UF, Dartmouth, and many others. But we're worried that in the fall semester, will then become less of a, like we'll lose population because we'll be in person. So we were thinking of making like a hybrid where we could have virtual and then in person. But I wanted to ask if you guys have any thoughts on the subject by any chance.
Yes, I also teach at FIU at the incubator. And what I'm noticing is I don't think we will go backwards. I think people are pleased to receive information in a faster and easy way, but I definitely think things will move a little bit hybrid. I don't think it will be hybrid 50-50. I think probably it will be things that you will meet once a month because people are missing the networking. However, the content, it will maybe continue being online because people don't want to drive, and then it's an easier way to reach information. So I guess it will depend what type of deliverable you have at the moment. Maybe you can start preparing what content will remain online and when you should do one-to-one sessions personally.
Okay, then. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Any other question?
Then I think Alex was up next. Brianna? Or no? Okay, I can answer some of the, or ask some of the questions. Susan had a question, Adriana, how exactly do you advise on testing your market? Market testing.
It's interesting because for many years, and thank you for asking that question because I was thinking yesterday I should say something and I forgot. I noticed that for many years we say we need to have hundreds and thousands of surveys and do things. Definitely try to use a little survey, even if it's through your friends. You can even send a link on WhatsApp or message and people can answer. You can use SurveyMonkey or Google Forms. But the more and more I explore all the agile methodologies that are the lean strategy, the Kanban, the design thinking, the agile methodology says you don't need more than 45 surveys to already get a good idea. So 45 is not too difficult to find people that are potential to your business when you survey. The only thing is make sure they're really the clients you are looking for. So yes, it doesn't have to be a huge group. Try to reach at least 45, but make sure they're really your clients.
And then a lot of you guys asked for Adriana's email address. So I posted in the chat.
I have
So you guys
here
can
at
get
the
it.
end. So here, sorry, I have the poll that I cannot move, but here the information of the center. You will also receive it in the slides. And here are not only my information, but if you click, if you use the QR code, I didn't put my email there, but if you use the QR code, it will drive you to the SBDC at FIU website and you will find me under the consultants. So.
And then we did get a question on what is the best way to find information of the local market, Miami-Dade County.
I have asked Brianna that when she sends the information, she sends you a lot of information of links about the market. There is, I don't remember the name of the website, but there is a website to find about local information. So if you need where are the schools, what type of schools, or about location, you can find there. If you are interested on more working with government, please contact us. We have a specific consultants focused on helping you to reach government opportunities. So we can go into specific cases, or if you are in the construction area and you want more training, also the FIU has a very good program. So let us know, just contact us for those specific cases. But yes, you will receive a lot of links on how to find trends and how to find, review your market.
And then we did have a couple questions on the business plan development webinar and some of the other ones. So I was actually, Brianna, I have it if you want me to pull it up. So I have just a quick thing for you guys on kind of the upcoming webinars on Step Up Your Startup, on pitch decks. Let me see. Of course, when I, okay, let's see. Let me share. Okay. Let me share. I'm going to share, Adriana. So, okay. So this is the flyer, everybody, for the upcoming webinars related to the Miami Herald Startup Competition. There's a couple pitch info sessions on the pitch competition, but also there's a lot of other webinars with content similar to this. So you see, we already had one info session on January 19th. That video is available if you need that information. We have Adriana's presentation that's today. Delivering a winning venture capital pitch is going to be on February 4th. The link for that is go.fiu.edu/VC pitch. And then we have another info session that's going to be on February 11th. The next webinar after that is going to be Step Up Your Startup on February 18th. That's kind of focused on kind of the next step after Adriana's webinar. And we also have Adriana coming back again by popular demand on the key steps for setting up a successful venture. And then finally, we do have a webinar and info session on February 25th that's focused on like the info session on the Miami Herald. So that's kind of the update. Brianna will send this to you guys as well. But I just wanted to highlight that because I know we got a lot of questions on upcoming webinars on this topic. So Adriana, anything else you want to close out with?
No, I want to say that if you go to our YouTube page that you put, then there are a lot of good content. So when I started my business and I started with my story, I didn't know about the SBDC. I didn't know about Prospera. I did it based on the information that I had, and I was lucky that people helped me. The Miami Bayside Foundation, Brian helped me, FIU helped me.
A little
I
bit.
landed in really good people. So I was blessed. But it doesn't mean we can help you. You have free consulting and amazing consultants. So use them, both Prospera and the SBDC. We're here to help. Look our resources. There are some in English and some in Spanish. So don't miss the information. It's there. So take advantage of that.
You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. We're here to help you out. I don't think I helped Adriana as much as she says. She's very generous, but and Soledad, did you want to make any other closing remarks on behalf of Prospera?
Sure. First, I would like to congratulate Adriana. I think that was a great presentation. Thank you, Adriana. And I want to emphasize how important it is to take the right time, this time of the planning phase. That's the most important for an entrepreneur and a startup. I heard some questions about how to register a company. That's quite easy, but this take the correct time, set aside time, the planning and the execution, and always reviewing all that planning. And that's my advice on my end. And again, we're here to help you. I represent Prospera. Also, we are an organization that we support business owners and entrepreneurs. We are a great partner of the SBDC.
Thanks. And thanks again to Miami Foundation. Thanks again to JP Morgan Chase. And thanks to our presenter, Adriana, who did a great job as usual. And then thanks again to Soledad and our friends at Prospera. And we will be following up with additional information. But don't be shy. You guys have all of our email addresses. You have our contact information. I think you even got like Adriana's cell phone, basically. You got all the contact information for Adriana. So folks know how to track her down. And just thanks again for participating. And we look forward to seeing you at the upcoming webinar. So take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Soledad, thank you to be here too. Thank you, Brian.